at some of the games of Doooovid against the TheDarkAffliction. The game is still on, but we're just going to quickly just catch up. This was game 1. It's a French defence. White's doing very nicely. The key is that h3 is defended, so white is fine. Now he's really fine, gets some pawns. Big centre. Okay, so this is not a reinforcing move, so I'd say that was a weakness, and obviously the engine is agreeing with me. I was thinking some kind of reinforcing move is a good idea here. I would have said at g2, but or even takes the knight. Bishop takes f5. Apparently, was strong here. Bishop takes f5. If bishop takes, knight takes bishop. And white's got a lot of material in hand, so. But the problem with the move, the bishop g2, is h3. I feel is a weakness. So what's the actual engine line? Queen takes d5 takes, and knight at g3. This is the problem. Okay, I didn't see that, but that's quite an amazing line. And knight takes queen. So that's the reason why it's a problem. But you can see it's creating a weakness. I was thinking on h3, and it's creating a weakness on g3. So this is a mistake in game 1. Okay, I should quickly catch up with the actual. Yeah, h3. So this is the problem with this: is queen takes knight. I think, because now the mate is threatened here, so you can't take back this queen. Quite serious. So you have to take the knight, and now black takes another pawn. e3. Okay, now the bishop. The queen is under attack, so what do we do here? And he just backed off the queen, which looks perfectly reasonable, but queen takes e4 apparently is an interesting idea, using the fact that white doesn't have that many things to block with. So this doesn't look so bad, but apparently there are better moves, counterattacking white's queen, because the queen is defending this f2 square, so why not just move it? Okay, so, and why not just go straight for queen takes b2? Was there a particular reason why not? Knight d5, queen takes e5. So yeah, there's no reason why not. But okay. But so what was the problem with backing off here? Is he was able, the queen is hit with tempo, so he loses the queen, and white just picks up a lot of material and begins now his own attack, getting in on the black king. So that was game 1. Game 2, Doooovid is black. Seems like almost opening theory, but until I'm not sure. Taking, bishop back here. Okay, so very solid play from white, doubling up. Yeah, very solid play. Okay, bishop here, pawn here. So that's a really nice move from white. Takes. Okay, so white's got quite a lot of material to attack with. Yeah, I feel rook takes surely, but suddenly these light squares are a huge issue. And so this game is all about these light squares, and indeed Doooovid got run over. In game 3, he himself plays e4, e5, hits the queen. Okay, so there's lots of pressure on this diagonal, which is neutralized, but black gets to attack first. So he attacks the queen, queen backs off, bishop here, okay. So black's sacking fairly hard, and so that's why white has a slight edge. Knight here, check here, and king takes pawn. Okay, was there nothing better? Queen takes, obviously safer. So knight takes, f3. Okay, so this, I mean, the problem is this knight is coming into this square potentially, and if this, then this. So I'm not sure about f3. What is the strongest move for black in this position, just out of interest? Bishop at d1. No, after f3 is queen takes e7, which is what black found. So if knight takes queen, you then have a knight for is it knight for here? Knight d3 check, picking up this queen. White's king is very weak. I should turn off the engine again. So it could be an interesting game. And so black had an edge in this position, but didn't convert it. So in this position, just taking the rook was strong, but instead he played defensively, trying to hide his knight, and then white had some good play. So, well, so it could be potentially a draw here if they. And apparently this was the crucial mistake, because queen here is an Arabian mate, the sort of X-ray Arabian mate. So now we're looking at game 4. Doooovid is black again, so now at this point he's 2-1 down. We're in game 4, and we're seeing again this e4, e5, and a light square attack from white. But yeah, black's doing well here, so I'm trying to figure out how does white win this, and it all comes here. So black's doing okay, and played this bishop at g3, which doesn't work apparently. So what would have been better? Simply taking the knight. But bishop at g3 takes, queen takes, and he gets attacked. Rook takes queen. Okay, he takes. Oh, I see. The point is the king goes onto a dark square and there's a discovery and taking the queen back, so the queen is not won. And black resigned in this position. He has no attack, and yeah, tough position. There's a mate in 7 for white here. Okay, so that was game 4. Quickly looking at game 5. So Doooovid was white, and so at this point he's 3-1 down. That's risky defending with the knight because the king is close to being smothered. As Cat Poacher said, that's a gross move. Bishop here, knight here, queen here, takes, 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 takes. Okay, and so at this point, black has a queen in hand, so there was simply queen here, check, king here, knight here, checkmate. But what was played was bishop here, and a much more long-winded mate was eventually found in the end. Did white have anything? Does white have anything here? Not just yet. Rook takes. Now white has something with knight at h6. Knight at h6. So you can't slide across, so you have to take it. And then you have 2 queens in hand. That's the key. And you have to use one of those queens like a pawn. So it was knight f6, king h8, queen at g7, or just queen g7 straight away. King takes, and then knight at h5, keeping the king in the box, and queen at g7. So using the fact you have 2 queens. But he didn't realize he had 2 queens, and for whatever reason he just grabbed the rook, and he gets mated then. So that was a tough game. So at that point he was 4-1 down. We go now into game 6, the second half of the match, and it's just about solid, and basically being a bit more careful with material in this game than so in this game he just grinds it out, just gradually takes all white's material, and of course it's just a cheapo, just grab the bishop, just grinds it out and finds the mate. So that was game 6, and game 7 and 8 he also went on to win. So let's just quickly look through them. Game 7, we were getting a lot of e4, e5. Okay, he loses his queen. So sacrifices the queen to try and... He can win the queen back whenever he wants to, but all those knights are really dangerous. Got to be careful of knight h3 ideas. Oh my goodness, what? What? Oh yeah, it is double covered. I'm just... Is there anything here? No, there's nothing. Yeah, it's double covered, so it's actually fine. So takes, knight at f2, it's all protected, so there is nothing. Yeah, I was wondering, is there something I missed? Nope, it is actually secure. Bishop takes f5. Okay, so that was a solid game. So he's 4-3 down, and he's just leveled it up with this last game. He's leveled it up to 4-all with this last game. And again, it's just picking up a lot of material, and at this point resigns because queen g2 or queen h2. Okay, and now we're into the live action. And again, with more of this e4, e5, backs off the bishop. Okay, going for at h6, takes, knight h5, and we're up to the live action. Okay, it's 4 games all. So we've had an amazing comeback from 4-1 down. He won the first game, then lost 4 in a row, and then won 3 in a row. So from 4-1 down, Doooovid has fought back to 4-4. So let's see. So I'm going to try and provide some coverage also in the Discord. And okay, and let's go. I just missed the last few moves, so I'm just going to look at it again. Dangerous. So he wants... Okay, so he picks up a lot of pawns, and he's getting some kind of initiative on the queen. So if you block the bishop, just takes and put another bishop down. So he's staying solid with his king. Let's see what Oppa's saying. I think black is slightly better. The knight trade favours black. The control is off f5 from white. Bishops dominate knights. So this is earlier. I don't like c6 idea though. The pawn on d5 was a target. I would have gone knight at f4, maybe tried to make some progress towards the king side. At g7, he simply wants, yeah. It's sort of difficult move to defend against a simple at g7, because if you take it with the king, you're giving a lot of initiative, but if you don't take it, so yeah, people in the chat saying I think black is winning, but this is quite hard to play because white doesn't have much in hand, but black's position is wrecked, and so it's the sort of position where it's really important to fix your position, and it's not so easy to do. How do you go about fixing it? Taking this bishop's not really an option because pawn takes and this. Okay, so in the meantime, more and more material. White just needs knight mates, rook mates. It's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Oh my goodness, you just put a knight on the board when all he needs is a knight to mate? Just come and grab it. This is terrible. And yeah, this is perfect. He gets a fork between the queen and the knight. So, fairly weak idea from the TheDarkAffliction. He had a good streak earlier, but I think Doooovid has figured the guy out. Bishop takes, and now queen h8 is basically all but unstoppable. Just grab the knight, why not? Oh, he has a knight in hand? Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, a nice mate found there by Doooovid. So 4 games in a row back from Doooovid. And what changed? I guess just playing a little bit more solidly. It's hard to say exactly what it was. PKR says, Deadbound 6-4 prediction is looking good. Indeed. So 5-4 after a 4-game streak, and this game to clinch it. But he's gone back to the line he played in game 2, where he actually lost. With bishop at f7. I think bishop at f7 looks good, but how does white get pawns to make progress on the light squares? That's basically the question. And yeah, I think he's realized this bishop was causing him trouble. But if the bishop backs off, then you're losing all that pressure on the light squares that you had. The bishop is useless on c2. So yeah, this is a big mistake. It's wasted time. Oh, that's a nice find. b4. Okay, so maybe it wasn't a mistake. It can come back later. So he wins. He's winning a piece. This is not so bad. And okay. And then I go, oh, but actually this is not so good after all. Okay, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Bishop at c3 takes pawn. You'll get your pawn back. But then you have to try and justify why your bishops are here and here. And indeed, that's why you'd want to sack here, but he's not able. So, but he could do a move. Maybe not just yet, but maybe get back onto a good diagonal. Put the pawn here. So lots of good ideas for white. What about black? Well, he's got a rook in hand, so he's always got like rook at g6, both defensive and attacking ideas. Yeah, the pawn is misplaced here. It's not doing anything here. It's a big mistake. This one you just have to take just to relieve your pressure on the knight. And oh, interesting. Okay, so TheDarkAffliction goes for this. Grabs the queen, grabs here. I think this will be good. It should be good for black. Okay, he doesn't want to go down the kind of high risk routes. Maybe he just likes these bishops looking a little bit silly. This is actually maybe even better. So black gets a knight in hand as well as a rook and a queen. Okay, so this is an invitation to attack. This is an invitation to attack. What do we do here? Do we go straight in with knight? Oh my word, really? That's brave. He wants knight at g3 and takes here. I think it might work. Oh, just simply knight to g3. I think it might work. It's quite brilliant. And he's keeping the knight in hand for f2 when this clears. I think that's quite a brilliant little find there. The knight there and a queen there. That was a brilliant little find there by Doooovid, and he wins the game and takes the match 6-4. So huge congratulations to him. Opperwazen says takes d8, rook h1, mate, and that is exactly what he found. Good games, good comeback, and really nice mate that he found at the end. Totally didn't see that at all. Exploiting this pin. Wow. Nice. Okay, thanks for watching. Just been a short stream catching up on these games. It was a good comeback we witnessed from Doooovid against TheDarkAffliction in round 1 of the Crazyhouse World Championship 2020. See you next time.